There's Eve's here. Hey, Eve and Lucy Cat. Oh my God. You guys, I'm sorry. I didn't know you all were waiting on me. All right, Lisa, I'm going to hang up. All right, bye. I had switched it till tomorrow, but if you guys are here, I'll go ahead and do it today. Sorry, you guys. Eve and Dion, and I know who that is. Are you guys still here? I don't know if they're still here, Lisa. They may have already left. Eve, I think Eve told him I wouldn't be here till tomorrow. Because I set it up for tomorrow instead of today. You're here, though. Oh, I don't know, Lisa. I don't know if they're here or not. There's Lucy Cat. I am sorry, Lucy Cat. I had set it up for tomorrow. I didn't know that you were all in chat waiting today. I am so sorry about that. We can go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and do it, you guys. Since you guys are already here. I won't do that to y'all. We'll see, give it a minute, see if anybody else shows up. Yeah, Lisa called me. I had changed it until tomorrow, which is no big deal. I can do it. I can do it tonight. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, but you're number 7, Green Eyes. Well, thanks for popping in, Green Eyes. What I planned on doing was going over the letter that Reverend Donna sent to law enforcement. So I had been charging my phone today. I'm going to do it over my phone so you guys can just hear it. That way I can stay in chat. Hey, Pat. That way I can stay in chat and we can talk about it. Let me pull it up here on my phone. All right, give me 1 second, you guys. I'm going to mute myself for just a second. Okay, I'm going to pull this up on my phone. Let's see, it would be Donna. Seraphina, right there it is. Pull this up. Let me find it, you guys. I know it's in here. I've got it on my computer. I just hadn't pulled it up on my phone. Hang on a sec. Hang on a second, you guys. Okay, you guys, I got it. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. Yeah, I'm going to play it on my phone so that way we can, I can stop it easier and we can have a discussion about it. Now, what I want you guys to know, this is Reverend Donna Seraphina, and she's on a woman's channel that's named Sweetie Piello. I don't know if she pronounces it Pilo or I say Piello. Hey, Gina. So let me get this up here.
To do this was to take a photo, look at the little girl, then go sit in my
Hang on,
room
I gotta
and in
back
the
it
dark,
up because
meditate,
I had been
pray,
listening
and ask
to it
be
earlier.
shown. So that was the first reading, was the 12-minute reading that I did. And that reading, I think, of my life.
Okay, right.
Because there was no relatives to do a reading with. So the procedure I used to do this was to take a photo, look at the little girl, then go sit in my room, kind of in the dark, meditate and pray and ask to be shown.
Can you hear that okay?
That was the first reading, was the 12-minute reading that I did. And that reading, I think, is packed full of clues. Even more than the 45-minute kind of goes into like all these relationships and things like that. But that 12-minute reading has quite a few clues. So there's a lot of cases out there. Every day there's just multiple requests to do missing persons cases, and I can only do so many. Part of it is the mental stress, and part of it is just time and things like that.
Now, Reverend Donna goes in and tells you a little bit about herself. And I want you guys to understand when she starts talking about the trip to Gatlinburg, some of the buildings that she's going to be describing are actual places that are in Gatlinburg, okay?
Yeah. So, let's see.
Oh, Donna, can I say something real quick?
Please.
Shining Bearable, she did a super chat. Thank you so much. Perpetual gratitude for the way you put your gifts to work. Blessings to you both, my favorite team ever.
No, and I just admit it. I'm past the age where we grew up learning this stuff.
I mean, it stumps me too, Donna.
Okay, Donna's going to talk. Hey, Marie. Hi, Three Flying Doves. Welcome. What she's going to talk about, this is the letter that she sent to TBI. And I want to put out a trigger warning. Let me get my banner up here, you guys. I came on really quick. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that you guys hadn't seen that I changed it. But that's fine. I'm here now. Green Eyes, that's where Andy B went before Jody moved out. Stayed at a hotel. Oh, he went to Gatlinburg. Green Eyes, is that where he went? Thank you, Lucy Cat. All right, so I think let me put my other trigger warning up because I don't want people to I'll use this one, I think. No, that's the wrong one, you guys. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. I'm being weird today. There we go. If that's not a trigger warning, I don't know what is, y'all. All right, let me get my phone back on here. I'm not crazy about using my phone, but all right, here we go.
And that's because, you know, if you send a letter to the cops, if you're like a psychic, and you send them all this namby-pamby, you know, I see this and I see that, yes. A lot of them are just going to
disregard.
Yeah, identify with that. So I put bottom line, and then I'm just going to say blank. Blank showed Summer blank, accepted payment for Summer blank, sold Summer to child traffickers, Summer murdered, possible clue. You know, and that's another, what are they called? Disclaimer. Psychic mediums are not right all the time, and you could be getting stuff that's incorrect, and you can never use that in a warrant. You can't, you know, even if the police did listen to me, they would need to go get corroborating physical evidence to bring to a judge. Okay, and so even then, if I say something about somebody, that's not a reason to go attack them, because this is my vision. It would be like if someone woke up and said, "Oh, I had a dream," you know. Legally, and that's the thing to know, a disclaimer. So anyways, I tell them, I saw a trip to a place we have now determined to be Gatlinburg. The purpose of that trip was for the mother to show the daughter to a prospective buyer or middleman that might put Summer in a catalog for trafficking children. I saw another scene by a carousel where the man handed blank a small brown bag of what I knew to be cash.
Donna, can I interrupt real quick? I think we need to warn them. This is going to get very graphic because some people might not be ready for this, but it's.
I might not know.
Okay, just to let people know, this is a reading that Reverend Donna Seraphina did on Summer Moon Utah Wells, who went missing on June 15, 2021. If you want to look into Reverend Donna's credentials and background, it's fascinating to hear her talk about the information that she gave law enforcement concerning J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, whose mother was, what the hell ever her name is. I can't even remember her name. This is crazy. No, Marie, this isn't new. This is when Donna first did this. I believe this was dated over a year ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Warning. Just the warning. This is very graphic. What she does is not for entertainment purposes. This is pretty real deal. So please, if you're not able to, I guess.
Yeah, this is the time I went to the police, so I have to.
Yes.
I mean, the things I've seen are more graphic than I could even even want to say here.
Right. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
And I was looking at the chat, and then I was like, "Thank you, Cindy." I don't know what I was going to say. Anyways, bottom line.
I'm sorry, I messed you up.
Oh, you didn't mess me up. No, you're fine. You didn't mess me up, because really reading is kind of boring.
Right.
Okay, so I saw a lot of things, right? And what I did with the Idaho case that worked was I made a group on Facebook, and it was called Psychics and Sleuths. So I did the same for this case. And there were a few people in there really into researching the clues for my readings. And right away, they brought me back photos of Gatlinburg, because I had seen all these interesting things. I saw an aquarium where you walk through and there's plexiglass over the top. I mean, the 12-minute reading is on Sweetie Pilo's channel. And if you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. What else was there? There was a lot. I saw a candy store that had candy cane, but it was right after saying grandma. I see grandma into the picture or something. So I think, and I've been told that that's her nickname. So that might be a reference to her. I was seeing a literal candy store, and then they even found one that looked like it, where the two pools were wrapped in candy. So as a medium, I know that I saw the candy store. I'm not 100% sure if it was a reference to grandma or a reference to the candy store, but so you always keep both things in mind. I think it was more likely to be a reference to the grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember any of the other things? Oh, the gun chain. Okay, so So it turns out that this gum chain is at the Ripley's Museum in Gatlinburg. Well, they also have an aquarium where you walk under the plexiglass, just like I was describing. There was a few other things, and early on, I think someone did kind of like a secondary identification of a person who worked there that was related to someone we were looking at, but I can't even remember who anymore. Okay, so, and definitely, and so Candace put Gatlinburg on her TikTok video, right?
Yeah.
So she has a,
Okay, just to kind of fill you in on that, allegedly, I think we know pretty much for a fact that Candace and the family went to Gatlinburg the weekend before Summer went missing. And, oh, hi, Velma. Hi, Velma. Tell her I said hi, Lisa. Hey, Anastasia. And that girl. If I see you guys and I don't get to say hi to you right away, it's just because I'm playing this video, okay? And I want you all to remember, too, that Don Wells actually spoke to Reverend Donna a couple times, I believe. So that's kind of interesting in this, too.
a little TikTok video of this strip, and Summer's hair is shaved in that TikTok video, so we know it's within a month, the month that she disappeared. I texted Don Wells. I've been texting him back and forth, and when people send me stuff, I've been kind of asking his opinion on it. So we know we went. So, what he told me was that the weekend before Summer went missing, right before Summer went missing, Candace took the children and she went garage selling around Kingsport and took them fishing and stuff. So she was in Kingsport.
Oh, and I saw somebody got upset. I'm sorry I interrupted Donna about the trigger warning thing. They really want you to carry on with that letter, and I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I just was worried that some people might not be totally aware of how real deal this actually.
Yeah, she wanted to give you a warning.
Yes.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say too. Yes, Don Wells did speak to her a couple times. And then, if I can remember correctly, after that is when Robin was going to speak to her, and the whole crap show of what what Robin did to Donna, came out. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that. Robin basically getting another female member of the church, sitting in a car and blasting Reverend Donna, saying quotes through the Bible and things like that. So,
yes, people reminded me, trigger warning. And I'm like, wait, Donna, hold on. We got to say this. So I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, that's okay. And apparently that same day, she also took the kids a few miles over when I was saying in that first reading, everything that's up is upside down and all this kind of stuff. That's Wonderworks. And so for me, what that does is it would give a date where if too much time hadn't gone by, the LA should be looking at all their surveillance to see a man that didn't interact with them really, but stayed about 20 feet away or so and was kind of following them around. It felt to me like this was a showing, like he was going to see the kid in person, see if he wanted to pay for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like. Okay, so Wonderworks is an upside down building, and it's on Candace's TikTok video.
okay, what I want you guys to do, and I'm sorry I keep interrupting, and I'll try not to interrupt as much anymore, but since she did this reading so long ago, I want you to hear her out and hear things she says and see if you cannot combine that with maybe things that we know now or things that we suspect. Okay.
It's an upside down building. It's a tourist thing. And I said John Benet's coming in. Well, they had a John Benet display at Wonderworks. So at least at the time. So
That is
what
crazy.
that did for me personally was confirm that it's very likely the rest of my reading is accurate as well.
Mhm.
Okay, and then I saw a carousel, and at that time, so then I was much to my surprise, go after the reading, I go on to there and look up carousel in Hawkins County, Tennessee, and there's a carousel in Kingsport. So that is, of course, likely the place where some sort of transaction took place, some sort of interaction. And as you can see in the 12th minute, I did see the mother, but I didn't see the father. And I have a little chills on my leg.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know, I don't remember that she was transferred at that very time, though. And so that may have happened at another location. But again, like, say if law enforcement was listening, which I mean, they do their own investigation. They don't need me to tell them what to do. But all the surveillance camera around there, you would see the guy that did this. Then I'm also talking, I saw a gazebo with a mirror image that went above and below. And remember how it confused me? See, at Bay Mountain Park, there's a gazebo that's built out on a dock over the water, and it's such crystal clear water, there's a perfect mirror image of it. And so I don't know, but part of the crime may have occurred there, but I'm not sure. I'm getting some spirit energy on that. Okay. I saw 3 men actively participating in what felt like a
Trigger
I don't
warning.
know if you're even allowed to say
Yeah, just cryptically say it if you can.
SMUF film,
Right.
in which the reading I saw, they would have kept her around for a while, but had to do a standard dozier, DOZIER, combined with the fact that I saw one man in costume plunge a knife into her belly.
Trigger
And there is a
warning.
knife called that, likely explains that other possible urban slang dictionary was, quote, to overdose on medication or to make a slave. So in the end, hopefully they made a pretend movie or something. I always hope until the end. Always hope. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's, this is my vision.
Right.
What happened in my vision. But it was pretty bad, and I saw way, way more details. Like, it was horrible, horrible. Other visions I received, a steam engine, and that comes through a lot. So it could be near where there's a steam engine in a park. It could also be near railroad tracks. It could be where a train goes over a bridge. So there's, like I said, one thing to see the things and another thing to find them, and especially when you're like on the other side of the country.
There were many people who researched where she was talking about. Green Eyes, do you think that maybe she was getting a reading on these others and not so much Summer, maybe? Yeah, they did go to the fair also. The carousel that she's talking about, I believe there's one in Kingsport, and it's the type that has the mirrors all the way around it. Also, when she's talking about that dock, and I hope she mentions it, I think that it has something to do with Bay Mountain. Okay.
So I got steam engine, Tennessee Hills, horse stable, and the child was molested in the home. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I have to say this, you guys. This is the opinion of Reverend Donna. I have no receipt showing that was happening in the home, but this is Reverend Donna's reading, okay? I just wanted to put that out there so people don't start attacking me. Green Eye said, I'm saying she's talking about same type of sickos who get off on beating. Oh, yeah, definitely, Green Eyes. Definitely.
blank was selling child for drugs or money for men to sexually abuse, blank sexually abusing someone. The stabbing I saw was very theatrical. I mean, and the spirits show you everything for a reason. So a lot of people have took that up and ran with it, and it did look very theatrical. They were filming it, and the person doing the main things was wearing a costume. And what I said, he just did to her. I saw that they were filming this. Okay, so then I talked about the aquarium. Some people think that was Aquarium at Bays Mountain Park. It sounds more like the aquarium in Gatlinburg. So essentially, somebody was following them around in Gatlinburg, looking at Summer, right? And I told this. Here I contacted Don Wells. I told them that. And he had told me right a couple days, that weekend right prior to Summer's disappearance, Candace was running all over Kingsport. I saw Summer on a couch, and she was being abused. And, and this is barely even saying, I mean,
Yeah.
the torture.
So sad.
So essentially what I see is her being shown in Gatlinburg, there being money exchanged by the carousel, and then later there's a trade-off or a handoff or something. But I didn't see the actual handoff. What I saw was I would see glimpses of this kind of car, like a kind of fancy car.
Okay.
And I already talked about the gingerbread house, the gum wrapper change. So that's all in Gatlinburg. And like I said, it gives more credibility for me, at least, to know that I'm on point. Okay, so the jackrabbit. And that's when you get something. Okay, you see a jackrabbit running across for no reason. If you're doing psychic work and you go, that shouldn't be there, and discount it, never discount anything, because it could be a name of something or a reference. The one thing that I did find was that the carousel in Kingsport does have a wooden jackrabbit that you can sit on. And also, there's a Tennessee football player named Jackrabbit. Just putting that out there, but that doesn't mean it's him. I didn't see any football player. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make any kind of accusation, but those are the only two things I could find. So either they're confirming to me that this is actually the Kingsport carousel rather than a different carousel because of the wooden jackrabbit that's part of the ride, or so I asked if Summer was alive in her physical body. And like as a psychic, if you ask if someone's alive and they're in spirit, they might still tell you yes because they don't die. And, if you give her advance, I don't think the spirits like you to think that they want you to, be putting it out there, the afterlife is real. Okay, so anyways, I asked the spirits, well, is Summer alive in her physical body? And what they showed me was my daughter, Nicole, appeared in front of me. She was sitting there and she was holding Summer in her lap. And so that led me to conclude that Summer is not in her physical body. That she's my daughter's holding her right there.
Okay, what she means by when she talks about Summer, her daughter, having Summer on her lap, Reverend Donna's daughter passed away. So sometimes her daughter helps, I think, like guide her. Yeah, Green Eyes, there's some really nasty, dirty, evil people in the world that don't necessarily, you're absolutely right, want to take these kids or even women for, sexual gratification. They do it for many, many other reasons. So you think that she's alive somewhere in Illinois or Wisconsin? Huh. The same place they ran last time, July of 2020. Did Candace go to Oh, okay, July of 2020, they went there. He said, I know a lot of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, but not everything. But most of the places she is talking about down there. Yeah, yeah, a lot of the places that she's talking about is actually in Gatlinburg. I've been there before. Lisa said Summer's missing. Candace don't want to go back home. I wonder if she could have hid Summer in the trees now that search isn't being done. Hey, Selena. Well, this is what I'm going to tell you guys right now. Hang on a minute. I got to tell these guys to quiet there. Sorry, I had to tell Chad to quiet down. He was being loud. Green Eyes, Dawn, and JW went to Utah. Candace and the rest ran to Illinois first. So you think that that could have been a place that they went back to and took her back? Candace post not knowing what to do. All right, let me get this turned back on for you guys here. It's an hour and something long. All right, here we go, guys.
It's my daughter's deceased too, for people who don't know. And then I did pick up that grandmother has full knowledge of what occurred. And then, of course, the carousel came up again. So through every reading, the carousel is a major factor. I thought I picked up child abuse. That's obvious. A lot of family activity in the second reading that's on Sweetie Pilo's channel. I'm going to skip that. I think it's been kind of gone over on YouTube. So I was also picking up a J. And then when I asked, well, is there any info specifically that Ellie could use, I received IV, bridge, train, and steamboat. I know there's a steamboat in the background at one of the pictures of Gatlinburg. Also in that same picture, there's a man leaning against his truck. But, you know, it could be some guy waiting for his wife. Like, you can't just jump to, oh my God, you can't zoom out to the point where it's clear. At least I was going to try to ask them for a photograph of that so I could try to look closer, but I guess Mr. Wells changed his phone number. Not because of me, but just because, you know, the church, I guess they don't want him to keep calling people drunk or something. So I saw the murder again. I've seen it a bunch of times, and very, very graphic. Like, you guys, I've had nightmares for days. So, and it's not about me, but just suffice to say, I've seen way more than I'm talking about. But anyways, it was very theatrical, beating, torture, abuse, her across the table and stabbed in the stomach. So all that will be filmed. At first, I saw Summer buried in dirt inside a building. It may have been a barn, a shed, or underfloor where there's dirt. I saw two men in some bushy area. Oh, this is a different vision. And they appear to put her maybe in a little box down a ravine underneath what appeared to be a hollow log, but sometimes it keeps in a barrel, and I'm wondering about that as well. So, you know, it really could be either one. I wish I had the photographs because I did all this work on maps to show you guys. Like, at least we're on here. At least we're on.
That's true. At least we made it. Yes.
Okay.
Green Eyes, who's JW? Yeah, I've heard of Randy Clark. Excuse me, guys. I'm not sure who JW is, though, off the top of my head, Green Eyes. Now, like I said, this is Reverend Donna's oldest brother. Okay. Okay. I was thinking something. I'm sorry, you guys. Green Eyes, you got me thinking about stuff in my head, okay? That's right. Green Eyes should be on the hunt for Summer, just like all the rest of us. So, you know what? The information that Green Eyes has is appreciated on this channel. Okay? Everybody's opinions and theories are very important on my channel, so you guys remember that. I know you guys don't forget that. I know you know that's how my channel works. So, all right, let's go a little bit more. And like I said, I'm really sorry about some of the things she's saying, and I will, definitely. That's why I got my trigger warning out there. And a lot of what she's saying is what she has seen in her visions. Okay.
So first, so it appears from this, I would say that they temporarily buried her and then moved her. I believe this is intergenerational, and I think, by now everybody kind of knows that. I talk about that a little bit to the police, some things I saw about that. But see, I don't want to be naming names too much because I know
absolutely not.
You can get your channels.
No, we don't want to do that. Yeah.
So in a couple other readings, I saw a brick building with white columns where Summer was brought to. So she was moved around. Like when this happened, she was moved around a little bit. There is a brick building with white columns. And I saw an iron gate with brick posts. I kept getting a funeral home, which was most likely a landmark of sorts. The real weird thing was after I had done a short reading, which I sent over that Carl at Enchanted Life Path, and I didn't send him the whole thing. It was just a specific question. I said, I have to draw a line where they showed me before I forget, and I did, and then I sent him the screenshot of this specific funeral home, and I said that someone from that church had been fired from there, but that doesn't mean he's part of anything. That's the thing. Don't come to conclusions ever.
Okay, but you felt like it was a...
Okay, she's talking about the funeral home deal was David Dodson. Okay. She tends to think that maybe it doesn't have anything to do with anything, but she was shown the funeral home, okay? Oh, yeah, John. Thank you for popping in. It's nice to have you come over. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Donna's too, so thumbs up with Brandy there. All right, let me get back into that. But yeah, the funeral home that she did mention, that's when we found out about David Dodson, being fired from the funeral home previously from that. So when you hear, some of the creators talk about that, some of the info that they kind of go on is, Reverend Donna's reading.
Person.
No, they just, it might have been a landmark to drive through. I mean, see, but it was definitely, it was weird. It was weird for me on a map to go, oh, here's the building that I think I saw. But then, okay, in Tennessee, how many brick houses with columns do you think there are?
Oh, gosh, I know. I used to live in Tennessee. My house had the same look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the colonial look or something like that.
Yes.
So it's very common, so that's more you can't jump into. And then I was getting Tri-City and to do at an airport, and there's 40 airports in that county, according to Carl over there. But I was getting Tri-City, and I noticed over at Tri-City Airport, there's another funeral home, crematorium, that borders the Tri-City Airport.
Yeah, somebody said something, back when they were upset with me about interrupting, you saw an exchange with a paper bag of money. Is that correct?
I saw someone hand the mother a small paper bag. I didn't see the cash inside, but it's like you have a knowing or a feeling of that this is a payment. Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to say that.
And
also, I'm just going to say, if you look back, a couple of people have pilot's license. I believe David Dodson can fly a helicopter, if I'm not mistaken. And from my understanding, I'll say alleged, but I think I remember hearing Tim Mullins also had a pilot license.
You know what? They might have not done that right out in public, but they might want to be showing me an idea. But it's like, remember, it's in that first 12-minute video, and I'm saying, well, where's the father? I don't want to put the father in the, remember?
Yeah.
But again, you know what? Everyone's innocent until proven guilty, and this is...
That's right.
The same as if someone talking about a dream or a theory or whatever. This is what I saw, though, when I asked to be shown these things. Possibly because they kept showing me a line, draw a line up to the corner of the state, and the line wasn't exactly straight. And the freeway that looks most like what I saw was Freeway 81. A couple interesting things about Freeway 81 goes right in the middle of both funeral homes and the airport. But it also has a bridge that goes over Warrior State Park, where Candace says she was the day that Summer went missing, right? The 81 has a bridge that actually goes over that park. There's water there and stuff. Like, those are places I would personally look, a few places like that. I just kept seeing the barrel. And remember, at first I was going, oh, I wonder if I keep getting Tennessee Hills, and I wonder if there's a winery or a brewery. There is a Tennessee Hills distillery. But see, these are landmarks, so don't jump to conclusions about anybody or anything, because when I said that, people wrote to me that Don Wells was actually working like less than 2 miles from there that day. He was 6 minutes away, and there.
John, she did the reading soon after Summer went missing, but as she's talking through this reading, it all happened, like simultaneously from Summer going missing. Now, she talked about Candace being in Gatlinburg, and we know that Candace did go to Gatlinburg the weekend before, but Dawn had told Reverend Donna that about Candace going to the yard sales and different things like that weekend also. So I'll look into all that a little bit more when I'm done. Lisa said, I would believe if Summer's still alive, the creepy guy has done something this summer. Dawn said, thank you, Corey. It's crazy. She thinks people are going to watch her without talking about Summer. Oh, you mean Can? There's no, and this is just my opinion, you guys, not getting off the subject. In my opinion, Candace doesn't have anything to say about Summer throughout this whole time, and this is my opinion. A lot of creators, YouTube creators, a lot of subs are the ones who have cared about Summer, put our hearts out there for her. We have cried for her. We have wanted to know the truth, while Can and Dawn sits back and makes money off their daughter's name for nefarious reasons, not even for good reasons. They've taken advantage of everybody that they've been able to take advantage of, and I find it sad, and it's really gotten to be very, very disgusting to me. Green Eye said, Tennessee Mountains is where they drop the dope. Folks from New York come get a big FBI investigation when a man fell from the sky. I think I remember when a man fell from the sky with a bunch of dope on him. That was a long time ago, I think, wasn't it? But yeah, people need to realize that, yes, they do drop off illegal substances in the woods and stuff, and they each know where that pickup point and drop-off point is. So that does happen a lot in the mountains, definitely. All right, here we go with some more, you guys.
There was a gazebo parked behind it, so I was like, well, is that the gazebo?
Yeah.
The gazebo I was seeing had that up and down, so now that I saw the one at Bay Mountain, I kind of lean more towards that one, but you always gotta be flexible with the vision, like when you're behind them, right?
No, she's got to be flexible with the vision, but that was the most interesting thing that I heard her say when she started talking about Bay Mountain. We've heard Bay Mountain before, right?
Yeah.
Willow, I don't know how. She wants a friend. And thank you so much for these donations. I really can use them, and
They're so kind.
I really appreciate it.
I love Barb. Barb, hi Barb. Barb Nauman is such an amazing supporter of both of us, Donna. And then we've got just so many fantastic people in here. We can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you so much. So amazing.
Yeah, next time I won't be having an anxiety attack, hopefully.
That's okay. It's your first time.
Right? Face the fear.
Face your fear. Yes.
Courage. Who said this? Winston Churchill. Courage is, you might feel fear, but you do it anyways because that's the right thing. So,
just to let you guys know, when Reverend Donna came on the YouTube streets with Sweetie, she was not 100% comfortable with it to start with. She had done her Facebook stuff, but not really the YouTube thing. So she was really nervous when she did that. Corey said only time that happened, the bells in Maryland. Oh, in the Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, that was crazy.
it's the right thing to start getting on here a little more active. But there's some glitches today, and we'll get them taken care of. So then I skipped. There was actually a couple of readings I did and didn't even listen to.
Yeah.
But I kept seeing the same things over and over, just more clear, and I think I've seen enough. Okay, so anyways, on reading number 5 was about 65 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Thank you so much, Annie. A little bit more. But I cut everything out about the family, about suspects, about everything, because just kind of because of the chaos going on, I want to keep the focus on where is Summer, where is she, or her remains, let's see where we are. The barrels kept coming up too, so it's like there's some relationship. When we get down to the Eastman building, somebody did point out that there's actually a distillery or brewery right near there, but I didn't get time to find it on the map yet. Okay, so again, the barrels. Oh, okay, here we're getting into this. We're on reading number 5.
Okay, before she starts that, I thought it was very interesting she mentioned barrels. Now, I don't know if she meant, because she talked about the distillery, if it was barrels like they put liquor in to age, or if they were like barrels that allegedly there were some up on the hill, right? That someone had said it. I don't know if it was true or not, but law enforcement had to search those themselves from what I got from one person, right? I don't know who you are, GGG, though, whatever. But welcome anyway.
So remember, if you listen to reading number 5, I kept going, these rolling hills, they're so beautiful. I see these rolling hills, rolling hills, rolling hills. Oh, these rolling hills. Well, and another thing that I kept seeing was emoji of a shooting star, which is really interesting. So it can have all these meanings, right? Because when I looked it up, I put Tennessee shooting star, and that's a flag for their football team. Some sports team, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. But a few people sent in this, and again, please keep in mind that this is not a suspect or to be treated like a suspect or anything like that. Just some people sent something in, and I felt like it was important enough to tell the law enforcement about.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the streets of Rolling Hills Road and Lone Star State Road.
Yeah.
It's property owned by the father of Jody, Sue's father-in-law.
Oh my gosh, you're sad. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who that was that came in. I blocked them. I don't know who they are. If anybody in chat sees somebody coming in here and dicking around or not acting right, please feel free to time them out And if they're a problem, block them. I have no problem with anybody doing that. Y'all know how I like to have my chat go, and we don't need any, ding dings in here. Green Eyes said Donna sent us down a never ending rabbit hole. Green Eyes, some of it I'll agree with you on that. I mean, we were looking at many, many, many different things, but some of what she says I've taken note of. Very, very interesting. And like I said, this was done over a year ago. So I wish I could figure out exactly when, because I want to say it was like Summer went missing in June, and I thought it was August or it was in 2021. So just very interesting, some of the things she has to say. I'll be the first to say I may not agree with everything, but like I said, let's listen to it. If pieces can fit together, pieces can fit together.
Does that man own 125 Ben Hill Road as well?
I'm not sure of that, but I have had a conversation with his wife back in June. Yep.
Nice lady.
She was very nice. She was a wonderful lady, seemingly. I didn't get. In fact, like she even said, I think Summer was abducted. If something is related in any way to her, she's completely oblivious. I think. She was a very, very kind person, from what I could tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you talk to her and I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay.
I think Sweetie's talking about she talked to Andy's mom, I thought it was.
That sounds good. Let's see. I just want to say real fast, when Donna talks about directions and highways and stuff like that, I have literally seen interstates and directions that she's spoken of in her readings turn out to be exact and read exact on an arrest affidavit. So I know there's a lot of skeptics out there, but I tend to think there's something here. In fact, you've even said street names that turned out to be exact.
Yeah, it's sad, and it makes me feel like crying. And anyway, definitely, you would think that the police would ask the question.
Yeah.
So if people are watching and they don't know, there's a woman named Jody Sue who seems to go on her Facebook and YouTube quite a bit. She calls her ex-husband Voldemort. That's her nickname for him. I think she left that property shortly after Summer went missing, correct?
Yes, she did. I believe she moved in the last month or two.
I heard like within days.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. We'd have to ask her.
Yeah.
And anyway, so
Lisa, I don't know who Kizzy is, but if you want to go listen to her, go ahead, because I'm going over Reverend Donna right now. I don't know Kizzy. So if her readings or whoever she is better, then you can feel free to go listen, okay? Well, I'm sorry, Goo Goo Gaga, or whoever you are. I'm sorry, I don't know you. It's the first time I've seen you on my channel. If everybody else knows you, I'm sorry I timed you out. I don't do stuff like that intentional, okay?
Her Voldemort, his father lives Rolling Hills Road, right, and Lone Star. But that doesn't, it could mean he might have seen something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just means the police need to talk to him. Like, you don't want to just be putting names out there and thinking that they're like,
Yeah.
But to tell you one thing, there was multiple people involved. Multiple. Not just one. Multiple.
We talking 3+ or?
At least, yeah.
Really?
I saw 3 men during the murder. But
gosh.
the subsequent, how each reading gets more and more clear?
Yeah.
So in the last 2 readings, I saw watchers. people that like to watch.
Oh my God.
I
Trigger
saw
warning.
people dressed up very nice.
Oh,
I
jeez.
just saw a nice car, yeah, and so it's like, which is maybe why the spirits were maybe telling me to back away from it, but
Goodness.
so some bad stuff goes on in the world, that's for
It
darn
really
sure.
does.
Okay, let's see what else is there. Oh, I was shown a coffin. So there's repeated, funeral home type references in here. Now, check this out. I kept seeing a man who rolls a toothpick in his house as a habit. Like, versus someone sitting there picking their teeth. So someone who has a habit of sticking a toothpick in their mouth, and you know how they just sit there when they're thinking and they roll it and stuff? It showed me that's a clue. So that would be for someone who knows the person or the police or whatever.
Okay, she's talking about somebody who rolls a toothpick in their mouth. If you guys ever see somebody like that that's involved in this case, that might be kind of interesting. Lisa J. Candace keeps dreaming of a guy she can't see his face. Do you know why Candace is dreaming of a guy that she can't see his face, Lisa J? In my opinion, because she heard this reading. She heard Reverend Donna say she couldn't see the man's face. And you also have to remember that Oracle Laura also said the same thing. So a lot of things you're going to hear Candace saying, in my opinion, she's gotten from YouTube. That's
And
my
I've seen
opinion.
the pedo catalog. And they might put it on the internet, but this is the idea that they were giving me. So I said multiple times through this reading, so if you want to hear it, it's on my channel, this fifth reading, and that one is the 20 minutes, and it's all about the landmarks, the clues, but I kept getting rolling hills all through there. Then after that, so right after the rolling hills, I was shown an emoji that looked like a shooting star or comet or lone star. I suggested we may be looking for a road or place with a similar name. On both my legs too.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I say a little more about that I don't want to add to the frenzy, but it says notably the street runs. It's called Rolling Hills Drive. Blah blah blah. I just said that. Yeah. So, in addition, the 20 minutes I uploaded of the third reading is solely about landmarks. They repeatedly put me in front of the building, which I had called the giant Jack statue, right? Jacks. I thought early in an early reading, I'm like, I'm seeing the giant Jacks. I'm seeing Jacks.
Like a children's game, right? From the
like that.
60s and 70s. Okay.
So I believe that what I was actually seeing is in front of the Eastman building, there's a giant molecule statue. And it's like that hand, it's the cover photo for the fifth reading there. It shows a hand statue and he's holding all these molecules, right? And so they gave me the impression that somebody involved did work for that company there, which Voldemort's father does.
Another coincidence. Holy cow.
So that's a lot of coincidences here.
Okay, I don't think she said it in this reading. And the reason I'm going over this live specifically is because this is the information she sent to law enforcement. So within her reading, the rolling hills, it comes out to be somebody's father lives on a road. So, I'm just not going to say his name, but it's the same person that she just talked about worked at the Eastman building.
Goodness.
But I also got the feeling of a manager, like that guy looks super rough. And I tell you, there's more people involved. There's multiple people involved. This is not just one person. It's just not one person. Like I said, you can't blame one person or go to one person because there's at least, besides if the mother knew, there's minimum of 3 men and maybe quite a few witnesses. Okay, so this may be something that fancy pedophile creeps that don't even deserve to breathe
Trigger warning.
due to little poor children they can steal. And it's just, I mean, they deserve the death penalty. If everything I saw is true, the people involved deserve the death penalty. That's
Absolutely. At the minimum. Oh, no.
So we got the Eastman building. So then they put me in front of the Eastman building. So I'm facing the Eastman building. So if any sleuthers are out there looking on a map, and they had me like kind of, I'm going to go to the left. If I'm standing across the street from the Eastman building, I'm going to put my hand out to the left and I'm going to be going that direction. Up the river. So there's a river a couple blocks or close by there. So I'm going to go up the river, and they kept showing me a bridge. So I'm looking at the building. And I have photos of all this. I even think I found the bridge. I have a picture for you guys. I'm so sorry. But there is, I don't know if that bridge has cars or trains. There's two. Oh, they also showed me a baseball field, but it might have been cut out. I'm not sure. Do you remember if it was in there? So they showed me a baseball field. So just a few blocks up the road from the Eastman building is one baseball field, but then there's another one with a second baseball field called Domtar, Domcar. And anyways, right in that whole area, someone told me there's another brewery around there. So if there is, I didn't get a chance to look for it yet. That might be.
Let me say this right now. When she talks about the baseball fields, I happened to notice a video that Tim Mullins made. In that video, he was showing a baseball field. Okay? Really strange. I'd have to go over there and see if I can find the exact one he's talking about. I can't remember if it's the one he did when he tried to explain how he met Candace and Donna or whatever, which we know is a bunch of bull crap. But Jody first acknowledged the perfect storm, then reported, said somebody using it. Yeah, she said that from the beginning, that it was a perfect storm. I could never get to the bottom of Andy B telling me his uncle was driving up and down the road looking for Jackie and saw Dawn home at 3. And remember, Green Eyes, it was Jenna, I believe, that had that text exchange with Candace where she wanted to know what Jenna had said or something, and the reply from Jenna was, I said that you said Dawn was home at 3:30 or something like that. And that's not verbatim. And Candace replied, okay. That was weird to me. Why, if that wasn't true, why would Candace's response just be, okay? I would have thought she'd be like, don't be saying crap that's not true. And Candace didn't. She said, okay.
Landmark. And then one of them might be a car bridge and one might be a train bridge. But remember, they kept putting a train in there. So I would be looking all over the river under the train. And I did call that Jason from Need a Diver. I called him and talked to him about it. So,
didn't he say he had seen something in the water, a wood something or other?
They were looking in a different river, and he wanted my opinion. But then I started getting a little nervous about strangers calling me like that. So that's why. So we talked about that too. But I suggested he listens to this so that he doesn't owe me anything. But these are some real serious clues. Like if I was there, they are. Because if you're standing at the Eastman building, and I was on Google Earth and just drive just a couple of blocks, there's an overpass right there, right? Yeah. That goes over the river. And then if you're going on the river, there's a second overpass. One of them's a train bridge, and the other one's a road bridge. Okay. So if I was in Kingsport, if I was in Tennessee, I would go to those places and just see how I feel and see if I'm led and see if I see other things around there is what I would do. But I'd also look over by the Tri-City Airport too.
Now, at one time, Donna had a diver call her and talked to her about seeing some kind of a box or container or something below a bridge. I believe it was the bridge closest to Don and Candace. And she talked to him, but I think she got really nervous because she wasn't really sure who the guy was. So it made her really uncomfortable.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. So the park that's there called Bays Mountain Park, which is right very close, within a couple miles to that Eastman building. That's the one that has the mirror reflection gazebo. So part of the crime may have happened there, and I don't know what part. So I don't know if that's where like they put her remains, or if that's where a handoff went off. I don't know what happened there, but there's just something related to this whole crime. And to be of note, at Bays Mountain Park, the Eastman Company actually has an employees-only recreation, extensive recreation with lots of buildings and camping for only Eastman employees. So Eastman employees would be very familiar with that park.
I have a question. Do anybody remember, wasn't it Bays Mountain that Don went up there and they basically told him to leave, get down the mountain, go talk to somebody else? But and that was the area where he just happened to see the little 5-year-old girl playing out by the road, he says.
Yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything else. And then I feel, well, apparently a lot of people work at Eastman, so that's the thing. So
Yeah.
everyone's cousins of somebody, right? And there are sex offenders galore up there near where Candace lives, just all over the place, and so many good suspects in this case. Like any one of them is a good suspect. So my inbox was flooded with Eastman employees.
Really?
Oh, you know what? I should say a note before someone wants to come kill me. They would not let me see anybody's face. So they would show me, a couple things I saw happen. They would show me a little hair or a little stature. They blurred their faces, and I think that's really interesting. Because, like, if you listen to my reading on the Moab murders, I'm totally they're showing me everything. They showed me his face, and they showed me his jaw, his mouth, like every single aspect.
Oh.
And so the spirit people are capable of that. I'm capable of seeing that, but in this case, they're showing me blurred faces. And they're doing that for a reason, and I trust the spirit people far more than, the people that want me to, because I've gotten hundreds of pictures. Apparently a lot of people look like Darren.
Oh,
What she's talking about is her spirit guide showed her a picture, and it was like a black and white picture of Darren Stevens from Bewitched. So if you guys see anybody with those facial features, that's just an interesting point. Amy said, isn't that where H went that day after the pond? He went with his girlfriend and girlfriend's mother. I don't believe it was a baseball game, though, Amy. Maybe, and I don't know for sure. I don't never say I know something for sure if I don't. But I think that Allie and Leslie were at a football game or something.
I get comments. Is this the Darren?
I'm coming through it, Darren. Okay. Because it was in the first reading, I was like, oh my God, I could see one of the people. Like, and then when I tried to look closer, they just put a picture in front of me, a black and white photo of Darren. Darren Stevens from Bewitched. So
Interesting.
Yeah, so nobody needs to come kill me because I'm not a witness to anyone's face.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Let me see if there's any more landmarks. I heard this Bikers Against Child Abuse was going to be going there or to look. And I called Jason because he is a diver and he does have a boat. So he can go look. There's allegedly some kind of reward, but I've never seen one paid. So
Right. I haven't either.
yeah, people should get off of that because
Absolutely.
I've never seen a reward paid to anybody for any
No.
reason.
It doesn't happen, at least not from my experience in following these cases.
Especially a psychic, because look at the Idaho case. You could tell them everything. They have
Oh my.
where's the reward money that I could use for a camper to go solve more cases?
Exactly.
Oh, and no one's talking to me now. Right?
No.
I said, you're welcome.
No, and you nailed that one, Donna. We nailed it down to streets and interstates and exits and what they did and what restaurant they went to. It's unbelievable. I have studied Donna's work extensively. I've been fascinated by it. I started as a skeptic.
Yeah, when I met Lauren, she told me she was an atheist.
And well, the atheist to that. I mean, I've always believed in God. I'm a Christian, but I've never thought that anything was there for sight. Like, I didn't believe in that, Donna, and you changed that for me.
Yeah, and that's a really cool side effect to these readings.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I'm going to cut in right there just for a second. I think, Reverend Donna is a very sincere person, and, I know some of her wording may be off, and, but she's really at that time wasn't a YouTuber, so we got to kind of forgive how she words some things there. But when I was following Reverend Donna at that time, I think what kind of hurt her in some ways is because, like all the rest of the YouTubers, they were, taking up money to go to Tennessee and they were doing all different kinds of stuff. And at the time, she was like, well, if I had a RV or a little camper or something where I could go there myself, maybe she felt she could have helped even more. And I think by doing that, it kind of made a lot of people kind of look at her differently. I didn't look at her any different. She's no different from Andy Bernard coming on there and asking for money for a camper or anything else. But, at the time, I think it with a lot of people that were getting used for a lot of money at the time, it kind of, made it look a little bit different.
Because early on,
what she does is, well, I'm not kidding with you guys. I'm not kidding. I think you know that if you look at my videos from 18 months ago, right? Almost,
it's been a while.
June of 2020, I started doing videos about Donna. I was so fascinated that this person, this psychic, was able to see exactly what happened to kids. It was, I've never experienced anything like that. So I only have you to thank for that, Donna, because that opened my eyes. I thought you guys, honestly, and I hope I don't offend people, I probably will. I thought all psychics were frauds, honestly. I did.
And I know people have a right to be very skeptical. And so proven to them. I mean, if you're having a reading, it's good to have an open heart and love and a true desire to hear from the person if you don't want a good reading. But there is a lot of fraud out there. An intense amount of fraud, a shocking amount of fraud. And so it is a good idea to still be skeptical, be open to be skeptical.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Amy, Hunter had a doctor's appointment. He had a doctor's appointment after Candace dropped him off. Green Eyes. Don had a new cooler on his news video loading his truck. Wow. All right, let's finish this up. I don't think there's much left of it.
Yeah, so it's just more about the bowling hills and stuff. One more landmark. Oh, good. I think. Oh, two more. Okay. So one landmark I have not been able to find, which I think I already put up in my community page, but I'll make sure it's up, it's a sign. So let me see if you had a V, instead of, you know how most signs would have two poles and then they'd have a square across the top. This one, it goes like this. It
Okay.
goes like this, like
kind of almost sideways.
this.
Okay.
So it's almost like if the two poles came out from one concrete pillar thing, and one went straight up and then one went at an angle and was holding the sign. That's a landmark.
Oh.
So if I was there, I would drive around. But I bet if there's people from Kingsport or Tennessee who know what I'm talking about, it's not what happened there. They show me to go back behind there. Like go past there, wherever that is. Okay, but I couldn't. I've found everything except that, pretty much.
Okay.
The other landmarks, let me see. You do what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, I was shown that I could see planes taking off from where Summer's remains were put. I saw a chain link fence, that's a landmark. I saw a barn door that slides open, versus, and I also noticed in some breweries and distilleries, they have these sliding barn doors as well. So I don't know, it was just, so it's kind of like charades. It goes into all different ways. Sometimes they just show you stuff. Sometimes they bring your whole consciousness there and you can walk around and see everything. But just a sliding barn door and a chain link fence, not necessarily together. And again, multiple people are involved for sure. Even if only one person, like say if the mother got arrested and then one other person and he takes the fall, no, there's nothing that you could say or do to convince me that there's any less than 3 people involved with this.
Wow. Full on conspiracy or whatever you want to call it. It's many people together.
Yeah. So that's my letter that I sent on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting, Donna. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so interesting. Wow. I don't know how you do what you do.
I can't remember if she has a Q&A after that. Green Eyes, was there any truth to Pizzagate? I don't know, Green Eyes. They say there was. They say there was a lot of truth to Pizzagate. But I think it, yeah, Amy, I'm not sure where his doctor's appointment was. I'd have to go back and see. They just didn't say he had a doctor's appointment at first for some reason. I mean, why is any of them not just telling the flat out truth? So, but I thought it was interesting the sign she said she seen and that there was more than one person involved. And also, this is something that, I found interesting was the handoff of a paper bag. Like she said, she didn't see the money in it. It could have been anything. So, yeah, Green Eyes, there are a lot of people who don't realize that these people, traffickers and RSOs and different things like that, they do go underground. Okay? They do. That is not something that's a conspiracy theory. It has been said that that they do, and that's what I said about Summer also. Anyone could have taken Summer and walked her. They could have walked her not even a mile into the woods and had a bunker. It's happened before where children were taken and, thank God a few of them were actually found, but they were put in bunkers. Or paper bag, purple. Oh, Amy said, I see what you did, Amy. Okay, let me play a couple more, little bit more of this so I can see if there's a Q&A maybe. And then I'll tell you guys where to find the other videos if you want to watch them.
And I know that lately you've had some trouble with sleeping and stuff because of the horrible nature of what you've seen lately.
I do notice it gets, if I
Excuse me.
do subsequent readings on the same case, it gets clearer and clearer, and I get more and more clues.
Yeah.
But the side effect is seeing the victimization more clearly and more detailed. And so the reality is, I did the reading on Sunday that I uploaded Wednesday. And I had about 5 hours of sleep every night, and I woke up with horrible nightmares, and I couldn't go back to sleep. So it does have an effect. That's why people, my inbox is flooded, and that's why I can't just do one case after, just do this, just do that. And it's like, it's traumatizing.
Yes, it's a child. Oh, it's gotta be.
The child ones are much harder than the adult emotionally. And like with Kylie, the very last time I did hers, it took me about 3 weeks before I was back. And I knew for no matter what, I couldn't do another reading and see that again, because I just saw more and more detailed every time. So, do you think we should take some questions? Or
I absolutely do. I know when you were doing the letter, there were people that submitted super chats. Let me see if there's a way we can get them back. I'm trying to look. Hold on a second. It's a little different from my side of the fence. Like I'm not able to see maybe the details as much. Let's see. True Jedi Forever sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get them back. I think we might have had some questions.
yeah, if you have any questions and you're already asked, and we just ignored you, we're done with the letter. So if you have any questions, just put them again, and I'll see if I can answer a couple.
Oh, I need to say, I do remember somebody that sent in a super chat. Dr. Debo Cherry, I hope I said her name right. She's been wonderful all along to you and to me, and thank you so much. We really appreciate that. That's very
Definitely. I recognize the name.
There she is. Okay, I'm looking at her. Dr. Debo Cherry. I hope I said that right. Cherry. Okay. Started from beginning. Yeah, so excited. Something for you, sweetie Philo. She's so sweet. We have such great subscribers.
Okay, let's see if there's any
They're really
questions.
nice people. Here's a nice person.
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse.
Yeah. Go ahead, Donna.
Oh, it's just new comments, yeah. So I've never tried to manage one of these while talk, and I
know it's.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your patience. And let's see, do you see how Mom found the people in the first place? No, I wasn't shown that, but I can kind of put two and two together without saying it,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, kind of what she's saying there, because she said she wasn't shown how, she said Mom, we all know who Mom is, actually found the people that supposedly this allegedly took place in Gatlinburg. We can kind of assume, now it's been said, Reverend Donna is actually the one who came out and said that she's seen in her reading that Dawn and Candace both had people on their phones, RSOs and things like that. So a lot of information that YouTubers started creating and making content about kind of took off from this reading with Reverend Donna. According to Jody, Andy sedated the girls to be touched. She said there were other girls. Yeah, but Green Eye, she backtracked on that. If you remember right, it was, she put that out there, which made everybody think that it was, some kind of a strong sedative or something like that. And then she backtracked on that and said that she was basically talking about weed. Andy, Dawn, and Candace have not been arrested because everything that they all keep saying about each other's hearsay. I can say, Green Eyes sold me this and this and this. But I mean, they've admitted to the weed and stuff. If there's anything else, they're not going to admit to that. We know the shenanigans that Don gets into, and he pretty much tells on himself. But yeah, that's weird. You're having a hard time hearing what she's saying, Amy or Eve? I'm sorry, I got it turned up all the way. But they're not going to arrest. They're not going to arrest them on some weed charges, especially Don and Candace, because when and if, and this is my opinion, they do get taken into custody, the DA is going to make sure they have charges to that's really going to stick with them is my hope. That's what I hope for anyway. All right, let's see if she's going to answer any questions here. I hadn't listened to this since she put it out this long ago, so some of it's kind of, a lot of it comes back to me, and then, other things I'm like, I forgot all about it. So, Andy, today this summer, text Candace is done. But I see what you're saying, but I don't get how he did that and texted her it's done, because Summer was with her supposedly when that text was in her phone. And we can only go by that with what H says, because we never seen the phone and never seen that, right? You said, I know Candace had been putting pictures of the kids in the kitchen forge on her new channel. Oh my gosh. I'm going to play a little bit more of this, and then we're going to talk about that stuff, okay? You guys know I got opinions on Can and her new channel. Flipping disgusting.
But what I can say is I hadn't heard of this case before. Lauren was kind of pestering me.
I kind of was.
This is really important case.
I just knew you were the yeah.
And then same with Gabby Petito, because even when I did it, I'm like, I already did that. Yeah, if they don't find her today, maybe I'll upload it tomorrow. And then she's like, no, you need to do it. I'm like, I just made bacon and eggs. I just want to sit here and watch a movie. And she's like, it's really important. I'm like, okay, I'll send it to you if you feel like putting pictures and uploading it or whatever. Yeah. I appreciate Lauren's support very, very much. And she's a very nice person. And honestly, I think if I was trying to hire a publicity company, I couldn't get somebody better than Lauren.
Thank you. That's great.
I know, because you have a good testimony. You're beautiful, and
and my story is authentic. I really was captivated by your work. It's real deal. It's authentic. It's as genuine as it can come. And I think people hear that, in the videos. I've done lots and lots of videos where I talk about you, and I think they can feel that I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, this was life changing for me.
Where they call him Donnie.
Yes, they do. I hear
it reading, and I'm going, Donnie.
Yeah, you will full on have a southern twang, like the heels, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is channeling that person as they talk.
Yeah, I had no idea or knew that or anything. So.
Yeah,
she didn't know they called Donnie.
It's very interesting, I think. Okay, we just gotta.
Thank you, Stormy. Thank you very much. It's done to it, Andy. Okay, so then that would be the son. That lives at 125 Ben Hill Road, and then his father lives at the corner of Rolling Hills Road and Lone Star.
That's right.
And works at Eastman.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
So,
that's what she got
but you
from.
know, again, he could just have knowledge of something that he doesn't even know he has, or you know. So I'm not trying to. I don't want to go on here and just be.
No, you're not pointing blame at them. It's just there's something. There's something in there. Possibly
Yeah, it's a little too much to be
a coincidence. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that was Donna's words, not mine. She talks about Andy Bernard and his father working at Eastman. So she said that there's something there.
Okay, let's see. Is there any more?
She
I'm
says.
gonna have this. Oh yeah, let's skip that one.
Stormy says when so Hunter saw a text that said it's done to Andy in Candace's phone. Do you know which Andy this could be? You know.
Yeah, so we just answered that. I would.
I think
it's the Andy Baltimore Jody Suzak because father's one who has the house.
I mean, that's what I think anyway.
And then it's his father. So him has asked his father, the police. I think the police should go to a lie detector test on his father personally.
Whoop, whoop. Donna said that, not me. Okay? She believes, and that was great timing, that the text from Andy that said it's done is associated with him, his father, and as she said, she thinks they should do a lie detector test on the father, but that's her saying that, okay? So nobody come over here and try to get me, okay?
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But even then, it wouldn't stop there. It went. There's more people involved.
That's a lot of people, Donna.
Yeah, because it's ritualistic, sicko pedophile rings.
Mm-hmm.
Who really, honestly, they all deserve the death penalty. Anybody who harms the children. Like if what I saw, I could tell you stuff, but you can't unhear it. You know, you can't unsee it. And if what I was shown is correct, I feel that I think the people should be executed right after their court hearing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how serious and bad. I try not to go on around and swear.
Right.
I don't want to talk about law enforcement, just because then they really won't listen.
Now, if you guys remember right, it was said, allegedly, that Andy was seen in the holler, right? Was that 3 o'clock also around that time? And then it's also talked about the blue van, which allegedly belonged to Andy's uncle, who was keeping an eye out for Jackie Dobbs. I think I said that all correctly. So
Please read at Carrie's comment. She's asking me about this. Have a sense of law enforcement being involved. I'm not going to answer that. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't feel like it's going to help move it on. So let's see. So does anyone have any questions? Was Summer live by the milk truck? I know. I thought that about the milk jugs too. I thought when the logical thought. Okay, so when this first happened, I had a logical thought. Before I went into reading, I'm like, oh, dry drowning. The mom panicked. The mom just had a friend disposed or whatever. Wouldn't that be weird if we found out we were all looking at a dead kid this whole time by the milk jugs or whatever? But then when I went into the reading, I was shown something 100% different. So that's happened a few times. I mean, so I know better than to just say a thought. Was she alive by the milk jugs? She may have been drugged, but I don't know. She may have been drugged. I think Summer was going to be better off being hidden since she had been, but now saddened and remorse because they know that Summer was going to be better off to be hidden since she had been. I don't even understand that question. Oh, is Ronnie Lawson involved? They really want to know. I'm not going to point fingers at any law enforcement because we're depending on law enforcement to hopefully pay half attention to that letter. And if they don't, maybe the Bikers Against Child Abuse, or maybe this Jason from Nita Diver, maybe one of these people will take these landmarks seriously. And if you're hearing me and you're in Kingsport, you do want to do a search, I'd be happy to go on FaceTime, although you can see my technical skills are not that great. I'd be happy to go on FaceTime and help any way I can.
Yeah. Sorry if you can't see me. Let me get to a better place. I'm just going to turn off my mic for a second and reconfigure this situation. Hold on. I'm still here, though, I promise. Also, Donna, there is, before I get too far away from this, True Crime with Eve EP. Super important question, Donna and Sweetie. Favorite color? Thank you for the work you both do. What is your favorite color, Donna?
Purple.
Yay! I love pink. I always have. I'm partial to pink.
Let me pull it a
I
little
like
bit further.
pink too.
Yeah.
Everything with purple. So like if a blue has purple tint, like cobalt, or all shades of purple going into magenta and watermelon and raspberry colors, and I love pretty colors like that.
Me too.
Well, that's tasty salt. So I did get some spirit energy. Remember on that, I think it was the first reading, I did get some spirit energy. They showed me someone in handcuffs leading them to the remains. Okay, but it's not super chill. There she is again.
There it is.
It's not huge chills, so it's not cast in stone. This will be solved, but there's some energy, so it could be solved.
All right, you guys, I'm going to end that right there. So we can kind of go over and talk about anything you guys want to. I'm sorry that I timed out. I don't even know how to pronounce their name. Did you guys know that person? Goo Goo, whatever. Ga Ga Ga. I don't know if anybody knew that person, and I didn't mean to time them out, but I just seen a bunch of emojis, and so it's always to be safe than sorry. But if you guys ever, somebody comes into my chat and you guys definitely know them, definitely let me know, so, you know, I'm not kind of weirded out by them or whatever. All right, anybody got anything at all? I will drop a link. I don't care if somebody wants to come up and we can talk about that. Usually nobody comes up. It's like everybody's scared of me for some reason. And y'all ain't got to be scared of me. Ain't nobody be scared of. And I'm sorry about today. Thank you, Lisa J, for giving me a call, because I had changed, I had actually changed it till tomorrow. And so I didn't realize that people were in chat. So thank you, Lisa, for letting me know that. I was just kind of feeling kind of blah blah today for some reason, and knew that I wanted to get to this, and I'm glad I did. So let me ask you a question, Green Eyes. How could Andy? I'm trying to think back. Did H see that text that day? Was it that evening? Or was it, I'd have to look at my notes, because I know that Candace and her mother went back over to Allie's and wanted to know what Hunter told the police. And I can't remember if that was I think Candace was going for a lie detector or had went for one and then came there or something. Oh, I'm sorry, Eve, I had you confused today. I apologize to everybody for that. You know, like I said, thank you, Lisa J, for calling me, because she was like, are you going live today? And I was like, no, I changed that. And she was like, there's people in chat waiting on you. And I was like, oh, no. So thank you, Lisa, for let me know that, because I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that to people. Have people in chat and just not show up. That's just not cool. So, Green Eyes, I have a question for you. When do you think that, I'll call him, well, I don't want to call him AB because there's a creator called AB, Baltimore, could have done that to Summer, right? Within what time period do you think that could have transpired? I guess is what I'm asking. That he himself could have done that to Summer and said it's done. Because if he was with Candace when he did it, there wouldn't have been a text saying it's done, right? He wouldn't have to text her and say it's done. So, I mean, you guys have to fill me in a little bit sometimes. Anybody have anything to say? All right then, y'all. I'm going to hop off here. Like I said, I've had kind of a blah, blah day. Just wasn't myself today. I kind of get like that sometimes. So, I will pull up her 12-minute reading and we'll go over that. And her other reading is 20 minutes and I'll go over that. I just wanted to go over the letter that she actually sent to law enforcement because that's what was important in her reading to make sure that law enforcement received. So I appreciate everybody who popped in today. Thank you, Eve, so much. I appreciate you. Green Eyes, I appreciate you coming in. Always interesting what you have to say. Amy, I appreciate you. Lisa, I do appreciate you. Lucy Cat, and let's see, I think that's about it, kids. Yeah, I think that's about God. I'm sorry that I timed you out for 5 minutes. I didn't know you. If everybody else does, I apologize for that. So, no, I didn't do it to be malicious. I just, a lot of times I go live earlier in the day. And so when I kind of go live in a time that I'm not used to, I try to be careful because I got broke in real quick on a couple trolls. So, Lisa, I don't know who that Kizzy is you're talking about, but if she has a channel or whatever, I don't know if she's a psychic or what she is. So I don't know. You just said Kizzy. So, and Green Eyes says that Don's a mule. You know, I kind of believe that to an extent, Green Eyes, because of the alleged comment that was made that he had brought back a significant amount of drugs to the mountain and, you know, was passing them out or whatever. So Don always said that he couldn't be a dealer per se because he used the product too much. So I could see him being a mule instead of an actual dealer, because yeah, you can't be a dealer if you're doing product all the time. He even talked about doing enough where he hallucinated. So you know, John Davis, thank you for popping in, and tell Brandy I said hi. John Davis, you guys go watch John Davis and Brandy. Corey, I was going to tell you, I got the pictures you sent me, and I got tickled because one of the pictures you sent, it's just must be you in a Slipknot sweatshirt. So I think you sent me one that you didn't mean to send me, but You know, that's a cool sweatshirt with Slipknot on there. Lucy Cat, I already said you. I think that's about it, you guys. Selena. I never have too many people in my chat, and you know what, guys? That's okay with me because I love calling y'all out, giving you a shout out before I leave. Marie, thank you, Marie. Marie, I do see your comments too, honey, that you leave on my videos and stuff. I do see those. And Lisa, you tell Velma that I'm sorry she missed me too, and I will definitely see her soon. Me and Lisa J was live on her channel last night, and she had her mom up there, and we had a really fun time. Thank you, Anastasia. We had a great time. 3 flying doves, thank you. And we laughed. We really laughed, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Pat, for popping in. Lori, I know you're up here. Victoria, thank you, girl. I think that's about, oh, Dion. Mentioned Dion. So I always appreciate you guys showing up. I hope you liked what I did today. I'm sorry that, you know, I was prepared for it and to do it tomorrow. But since I did it today, you know, my voice is sounding kind of rough, and like I said, I had a crappy day, but I hope you all had a good day. So, all right, I'm going to get off here, and I definitely will go back in and make sure that it shows I did the live so it don't show up again. And I will pull up her, I'll come back on tomorrow and pull up her 12-minute reading, I think, or something like that, and her 20-minute reading, if you guys want to hear it. It does get really graphic. A little more graphic than I think what she talked about today, but it does get really graphic. Do you guys think that Candace did that? And I know she talks about, you know, things that Summer's mother's done, but I don't think that she's putting Dawn in with that. She does say things like that Dawn, you know, allegedly SA and all that other stuff. So, you know, she is putting that out there, but I'll get the 2 other readings and we'll go over that tomorrow. And sorry, you guys, I was just kind of, like I said, I was blah, blah today. So I apologize for that. And I think I'm just going to lay down here for a little while, and I'll be back perky tomorrow and try to be my feisty self. But I appreciate you guys. So peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Be kind. It don't cost a dime. And like I say, if you got to get feisty, you go right ahead. All right. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Lisa J. I appreciate you. Night, y'all.